Today is day 304 of the year of streaming and learning to code. This marks 10 months down for our year-long journey. Pretty awesome. So, October 31st. I mean, we actually need to make a bit of progress today, but nevertheless, 10 months down. Pretty cool. Only 2 more months to go. Looking forward to that. But before we can continue with all that noise, we still need to do the final touches for our current project. So we are continuing day 304 with project number 4, Magic 8 Ball. Now, the core functionality has been done since a day or two ago, and we've been adding on the additional stuff. And now for today, we set up our kind of micro to-do list towards the end. We did 1 in 3 last night, changing some of our responses. We just used the basic initial ones for setup. We got to personalize them a bit last night. And then we also set up the form validation. Now let's crack open our example code or our example project. Ta-da, that's what we're shooting for. Tons of fun. And this is actually, no, not the JavaScript, but the HTML. Here we go. That's what we wanted. This is our code. All right. Not as glamorous, but that's exactly what we are going to be addressing today as we put the final few nails in this particular coffin. First things first, the CSS card flip transition or animation, whatever you'd like to refer to it as, that's going to be sort of our primary focus. That's the sort of the last thing that we want to tackle here. Now, to do that, we want, and to highlight, so here, for our example code that we're trying to emulate, ta-da, see that, we are hovering over the 8 ball, and it flips, and when we stay on it, it stays flipped. When we remove the hover, it goes back to the front, or the back, depending on your perspective of 8 balls and whatnot. But regardless, so there's that flip. And also, when you ask it a question, question, will we be able to add the card flip via CSS? Not the most fascinating question, but a question nonetheless. Let me ask BDX Inc. We're chasing our tail, which has been a common theme for the last 300 plus days. So, the point of that is question. When we also submit a question, it flips. Ta-da! See that? And then also when we hover over it. So there's 2 flip transitions or animations that occur. I don't know if we're going to add both. I would at least like to add the hovering one, the ask a question, because right now ours simply just changes from displaying the front image to none and then showing the back image. So we've got ours here. Let's ask a question. We'll ask the, you know what, it's Halloween. We'll ask the Magic 8 Ball, are you dressing up for Halloween? Perfectly reasonable question to ask a Magic 8 Ball. What are they dressing up as for Halloween? Ta-da, consider it done. Not the best of answers to that particular question. What about our tried and true favorite question to ask Magic 8 Ball? Meow. Question mark? Ta-da. See that? So there's no transition. It's just it flicks on or it flicks off, and that's it. That is our whole transition period. We need to doctor it up. Or we'd like to doctor it up. So, where should we begin our hunt? We were looking at it before. It wasn't at MDN, it was some dude's site. Were they a doctor of sorts? I can't remember. It was CSS card flip animation. I think. Ah, there we go. David Walsh. That rings a bell. Dee 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 doo doo la da 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 dee dee, and we had a couple of these open. Beautiful. So we may not have the immediate answer, but we know where to find them. And since we will be dealing with CSS, we can jump to our CSS file. And you know what? We didn't really give it the attention it deserved because we stumbled across this earlier on in our project. We knew we were going to save the CSS stuff and all the polishing towards the end of this particular journey. So we just kind of glossed over it all. Brace yourselves for a little bit of story time. All right. CSS animations are a lot of fun. The beauty of them is that through many simple properties, you can create anything from an elegant fade into a WTF Pixar would be proud effect. One CSS effect in between is the CSS flip effect, whereby there's content on both the front and back of a given container. This tutorial will show you how to create that effect in as simple a manner as possible. Quick note, this is not the first tutorial about this effect, but I found the others overcomplicated. Cool. Good. Many other tutorials add additional styles to code samples, which then require the reader to decipher which are needed and which aren't. This tutorial avoids that issue, providing you only the necessary styles. You can pretty up each side of the flip any way you'd like. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. Now, the HTML. We'll actually transition over to our HTML, just so we have something to look at. Continuing on with story time. The HTML structure to accomplish the two-sided effect is as you would expect it to be. We have a div class flip container on touch. This classless toggle hover. Okay. Div class flipper. Div class front. Closing div class back. Content. Div, and div. Everything shuts out. Now, the difference compared to ours is we do have sort of our primary... we've got our main div, and then within that, the next major bulk of what we're looking at for our project would be the form, which is the input field and button, followed by the actual images, the front of the 8-ball and the back of the 8-ball. So, slightly tweaking this, that would flip container. I wonder if that's essential. See, I think I can just do on start and add this toggle function, probably to either ball or potentially even main. But we'll see. Continuing on, div class flipper, so that would be closer to ID of ball. Maybe flip container is that. I think we'd strip out the flipper area. It would just be flip container, or in our case, ball. we'd add in the class list toggle, and then instead of having div class front and div class back, we have image front and image back. And I think we should be able to make progress from there. Continuing on, there are two content panels, front and back, as you would expect, but also two containing elements with very specific roles explained by their CSS. Also, note the on-touch start piece, which allows the panels to swap on touch screens. Right, that was optional. I forgot that was a touchscreen specific property. So we don't really need to worry about that too much. Although in the world of mobile phones, maybe we should. We'll keep that in the back of our minds for now. We'll pin that up and continue trudging along. Obviously, you shouldn't break that code into a separate, unobtrusive JavaScript. Wait. Obviously, you should break that code into a separate, unobtrusive JavaScript block if you wish. Fair enough. On to the CSS portion. I'm willing to bet that outside of the usual vendor prefix bloat, you'd be surprised at how little CSS is involved. I hope to be stunned. Hopefully it is minute. Entire container keeps perspective. So flip container maintains the perspective of what we're focused on. Flip the panel when hovered. Dot flip container hover. Dot flipper. And dot flip container dot hover. Dot flipper. All transform and rotate on the y-axis 180 degrees. Flip container, front and back, their particular width, both have the same 320 and 480, so ours for our CSS. Here is ours, front and back. I guess we would add flip container or whatever area holds the on touch or the hover functionality to this as well. This bit, because we've got front and back there. We need to factor in here, which for ours, I believe, would be ball. True, we could add in a div and literally call it flip container and swap out and implement, but for curiosity's sake, let's see if we can MacGyver this into our current setup. Flip speed goes here. Flipper transition 0.6 seconds, just over half second. Transformation style preserve 3D. Interesting, and its position is relative. Continuing on, hide back of pane during swap. Front back face visibility hidden. So that's sort of a temporary display none. Slightly. Although I believe display none versus making something hidden. Display none like removes its structure, the space from the page, I think. Like if these were stacked, here is the front of the 8-ball, below we had it before where the back of the 8-ball was below it. If we were to do none, no, if we were to do hidden for the top image, the face, it would just clear away and there would be this big gap. But if you do display none, it removes it entirely and everything shifts. I believe that's the difference between display none versus hiding something or utilizing hidden. I forget, it's been a while. We haven't had to use hidden. Again, we haven't tinkered at length with CSS aside from the essentials to pull off our projects. Very, let's see, a lot of our projects have had basic CSS stuff. So we are trying to push ourselves to branch out a little further, thus card flip. Anyways, continuing on, hide back of pane during swap. Front, back, okay. Whoa. Yes, we were going over this. That was our hidden tangent. Terrible tangent, but still a tangent nonetheless. Position absolute, top 0, left 0. Spacing. Front pane placed above back, Z index 2. For Firefox 31, which we're rocking Chrome, so we don't need to worry about this. I think not. Just Z index 2. And lastly, back initially hidden pane, back, transform, rotate Y 100 degrees. So, once more, look, a friendly summary. How cool is that? This is awesome. Here's a rough overview of the process. The outline container sets the animation area's perspective. So we do need to set up a perspective area in general, or at least add that perspective stuff too. We have our ball div here that we can leverage as our container. I think we'll find. We'll test that out. So the outline container sets an entire animation area's perspective. The inner container is the element that actually flips. Aha. So this is just sort of the table or the window that we're operating in. Here in the inner containers, the actual images, that is what is doing the flipping. The inner container is the element that actually flips, spinning 180 degrees when the parent container is hovered over. This is also where you'll control the transition speed. Changing the rotation to 180 degrees spins the element in the reverse direction, negative 180 degrees. The front and back elements are positioned absolutely so they can overlay each other in the same position. Their back face visibility is hidden so the back of the flipped elements don't display during the animation. The front element has a higher Z index than the back element, so the front element may be coded first, but it still displays on top. The back the element rotates 180 degrees, so it can act as the back. That's really all there is to it. Put this simple structure into place and then style each side as you'd like. A note from CSS animation expert Anna Tudor. Applying certain properties with certain values, like overflow hidden on the card element, would disallow it to have 3D transformed children. I believe this is relevant because I got into trouble with overflow hidden precisely in such cases where all children of the 3D transformed element were in the same place, but one or more had been rotated by 180 degrees. Furthermore, there is CSS flip toggle. If you'd prefer the element only flip on command via JavaScript, a simple CSS class toggle will do the trick. Flip container hover, .flipper, .hover, flip and stuff, and lots of flipping. There's a lot of flipping in this universe. Transform, rotate, blah, adding the flip, vertical flip. Good. There's lots of ways to flip, and you can flip in any direction you'd like. Tons of fun. So, let's stick to the basic initial section that we were dealing with. Now that we've come to terms with our specific card flip transition, we are shooting for this type of animation. Hovering, not hovering. Hovering, not hovering. Cool. So, now to add that to ours. Dum. Let the confusion and tears begin as we start to chip away at the following. Close that. Oh, wait. Ah, cool. It does work. Dum. Click or tap on this circle. Tap again. Wing like a gate. Oh. Kind of? Any access is possible. Anywho, mouse over, contact top seller, click or drag. Oh, diagonal rotation. Guess I'm a little crooked. Fascinating. Okay, well, this one, the mouse over me, that's what we're shooting for. Same is here. So, let's do this. And we're clicking, and let's close out of that bit. Leave those two open, get rid of our basic Google search. Alright, time to make progress. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. This is terrifying. Deep 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 deep. Entire container keeps perspective. Perspective. 1,000. I don't know if I actually need 1,000 pixels. I'm sure I can adjust accordingly for our project. But in the meantime, monkey see, monkey do. That's the way this is going to roll. Now, just so we're all on the same page yet again, here is our HTML. Here's our project. We are dealing with the 8-ball. So we have our div with the ID of ball. We have our front image with front of ball as its ID and the back of the ball with its ID as such. So let's do this. I hope it's okay that we have answer in here inside the ball div. I think it's going to be fine. So our answer is the text that shows up on the backside. Right now it only populates when we ask it a question. Like so. Meow, question mark, submit, ta-da, maybe give up now. Oh, I'm just inspirational. Dear God. Maybe I should have made slightly more motivating comments, but it's just, it was late, and that's all that came to mind. Okay, well, we aren't going to give up now. Anyways, so I hope it works. Div. Get the feeling, flip container. What is it? It's bootstrap. I feel like these are key phrases in words, but I'm like 43% sure that they're key phrases and that they're necessary. I get that the toggle hover or on touch for a touch screen is probably important, but I believe all the other names and classes and labels really don't, I don't think they matter, because everything else is actually happening here on the CSS side of things. This is where I should focus all of my concern. It's going to be fine. We have our ball div, we've got separate images, front and back, we've got the absolute, I think, minimum necessary to pull this off. I really don't even think I need to add the on-touch start. So technically, with that said, let's just do this. Go time. See, this bit concerns me. There's the flipper section. So inside ball, I feel like I should add the flip container. Because ball is what would be turning. And I should move this outside of the ball div. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do this. Just let's make it easier on ourselves and follow the guide. That's what'll happen. Cut. Where did we go? What just happened? There we go. So that's ball. This is answer. And here we will have another div called something div. We will call it flip container. You know what? We're gonna live dangerously. We're just gonna call it flip. Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. We're just gonna call it flip. So flip houses all of this noise. Cut. And we're pasting. Living on the edge. Okay. Yeah. Good. Good. Do we want it as an ID or a class? We'll leave it as a class. We'll leave it as a class. Dum. Continuing on. Anxiety's heightening. Save. Here we go. We're refreshing. Beautiful. Flip animation. Alright. Onwards. Now. Flip container. Ours is just flip, and it will be dot flip, because we can. Dot. Where should we do it? There's ball, there's answer, back of ball, front, back. Let's actually drag this up, cut. And let's also do dot flip. There. That's a bit more comforting. So, perspective. Cut and paste. Perspective, 1000 pixels. Command save and refresh. Okay, cool. Again, we probably don't need 1000 pixels, but it's there. It works. Nothing blew up. Does this still actually function? Meow. Submit. Chances are you're doomed, but hopefully not. Oh god, I was just spot on coming up with those answers. So in the face of doom, we keep pushing onwards. First section done. Flip the pane when hovered. Flip container hover dot flipper. Flip container dot hover. What is the difference? Is there actually a difference between flip hyphen container colon hover? I mean, I can see there's literally a difference versus flip container dot hover. But what was that referencing over here? Class is flip container. Toggle hover. Like, I guess I don't understand what they're referencing. With the colon hover versus dot hover. It's just weird. It's flip container hover space period flipper, and then there's flip container dot hover space dot flipper. Dot flipper are both living in the same area. Something about hover. Maybe it's telling it to do it. See, this is why I feel like flip container is a necessary name. Damn it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna cave. And we're gonna add container to it. It's gotta be. Hey, I just noted, Iceman. Cool. How you doing? And a handy link. What is the difference between hover and hover? Well, I think that would be awesome. Let's find out. Was digging. Oh, cool. Okay, I was digging through some CSS codes written by someone, and I found this list hover. List dot hover versus list colon hover. Is there a difference between dot hover and colon hover? Maybe some browsers act differently for hover. Oh, colon hover is a pseudo class, while dot hover is a selector for the class hover. These symbols, colon and period, don't change the meaning from any other CSS selector construct. We see the W3C CSS level 3 recommendation for all the details. Presumably, hey there, little kitty. Presumably, there's some JavaScript to toggle the hover class, perhaps because of the lack of colon hover support for list elements in, or whatever li elements in a legacy browser. I know that IE5, little kitty, please stop moving the mic. I know your face is itchy, but we're trying to work here. Princess, I love you. I just, look, you're covered in fur. What's that? Go play on the bed. Yeah, no, okay. What's it, wiggly fingers? Wiggly finger? Yeah. What's that? They got your attention? No? Okay. You're still cute, but you're just... Oh my god, you're clicking on things. Bad little kitty. Bad little kitty. Sweet baby Jesus. Let's finish our example. So, thank you, Iceman, for the link. Something about legacy browsers. I know that IE5 and 6 only support colon hover for links. Modern GUI browsers correctly support colon hover, and as always, make sure the page is not good. Okay. Dot hover is just a class name, possibly use meaning. Something I, the coder, want to look the same as hovered item, whereas colon hover is the pseudo class when a mouse is over it. Personally, I use dot hover instead of fascinating. Okay, cool. Bitchin'. Thank you. That was an outstanding link in source. Iceman is exactly what we needed. Little kitty, your tail, you're just right here in the underside of the webcam area. Very alarming. Very concerning. Let's shimmy the mic back a little. Goddamn quadruped. Roaming all over the desk like she owns the place. Okay, so continuing on with the following. So this is really to cover their bases. Tiny cat. I'm not moving my hands to scratch you. Look, just go to the bed. Go to the bed. 1, 2, 3. Team effort. Kitty transition. So graceful. There you go. There you go. Oh, who's got your tail? Steven does. Now, who also... No. Oh, God, princess. Gonna give me a brain aneurysm. Just pick a napping spot. Not my hands for scratching. No. Love you so much, but later. Later. We've got limited time to stream. Oh, God. Okay, look. I'm gonna give you approximately, like, 14 seconds of love on the bed. All right? Look at this. Look at this. He can't. No, no, no. We're starting now. 1,000. 4 1,000. 5 6 1,000. 7 1,000. 1,000. Okay, you left at 9. You left at 9. We were gonna go to 14, but you left at 9. Just tell your friend. Oh my god, it's okay. Just visions based on movement, like a T-Rex. We're just gonna pretend that we're not here, and we're just gonna continue with day 304. It's the end of 10 months. We've been dealing with little kitty this long. Oh, if anyone's trying to learn how to code, get rid of your cat. That is the one thing I've learned. Above all other advice and tips, don't have a cat if you're trying to learn how to code. You furry quadruped from hell. You're so damn cute, but so confused. Oh, okay, and you're so furry. What is this? Why? Furricane. It's awful. Happy thoughts, Stephen. Happy thoughts. There's only 2 months left of this nightmare. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We might not do it, but we're really gonna try. Okay, so. Flip the pane when hovered. This shouldn't be that hard. We could copy and paste all this and be done. But no. We are gonna learn it. We're here to fall on our face. Little kitty or otherwise. We will forge ahead. Flip container : hover and dot flipper. Let's do this. I will change it to flip container to make life easier for Steven. Myself. I feel like we lost the war. I just really wanted to have it as flip. That was it. I don't know why, but I did. I also am pretty sure we should add this thing. I know copy and paste is bad, but I don't want to type out the on-touch stuff. It looks ridiculous. What the hell is that? Why is everything oh, the semicolon. No? Yes. No. Yes. We're missing a comma, or a quote at the end. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Just... Oh my god, cat. Your tail is on the keyboard. There we go. Crisis averted. See, we missed it. That little bit. Rookie mistake. 10 months in. Still rookie mistake. Now, we have this noise. We have ball. We don't need to worry about the div stuff. Maybe we do. My concern now is that the images won't behave the way the divs do. Since they're different element types. Let's forge ahead in our confusion. Just do it. Just commit. Falling on our face in style. With commitment. Here we go. Here we go. Let's save this. Save. CSS. This will now be flip container. Right? Come on. Container. Dee. Die. Dum. Flip the pane when hovered. I'm gonna do both because I don't want to type it out. It sounds disappointing. In my mind, it makes me sad to look at it. I know it's wrong. We'll type out the other ones, but it's just... the confusion surrounding it isn't comforting. This, though, this seems fine. See, now I know that I can add flip container. This stuff, that's cool. No problem there. Dot flip container, comma, stuff. See, that's great. Bitchin', even. Yeah, that's right. Flip speed goes here, which will be the ball div. for us. So, ball div is right up here, position relative. You know, I don't know if we actually need position relative anymore. I'm trying to think why we set that up in the first place. You know, we do. We do. Flipper speed. So we can just add in the transition and transformation style above. Look at that. I'm still drawing a blank. We added that like 2 or 3 days ago. I just can't remember why. Oh well. It's needed now. We'll just pretend that we planned needlessly far advance into the future. Transition 0.6 seconds. And transform robots in disguise. Transform style. Reserve 3D. This is all like... Oh, that's so cool. Love Atom. How the predictive stuff is so awesome and convenient. I'm so used to all the tutorial site code editors, which I thought were amazing because it does all the color and font delineations and whatnot for when things are right, or if you mess up the syntax, it'll change the colors and stuff. I mean, that all happens, but all this additional menu stuff, suggestions, that's not quite there in your everyday coding tutorial site. So using a decent editor goes a long way. Tangent stuff. We got distracted. Shiny colors, right? Shiny colors in the Empire Falls. Transformation. We're so close. Front and back. Hide the back of panel during the swap. So front and back, we should copy this. Copy. And paste. And we can get rid of the height stuff. And we can add in back face visibility. Hidden. This is so cool. Position. Absolute. I kind of feel like I'm making progress. It's weird. That's an odd sensation on this stream, because usually it's like 98% confusion with a little bit of progress. Which, in the scheme of things, isn't terrible. That confusion is learning. Don't mind me. Think amongst yourselves for all of a moment. Tiny crisis. Alright, crisis averted. Continuing on. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. What were we doing? 0. Top is 0. Oh, we forgot the semicolon. The almighty semicolon. Left. And 0. You get a semicolon, and you get a semicolon. Everyone gets a semicolon. Save, save, save. Now, the last couple bits, 1 and 2. Front pane placed above back. Front, which we have Now again, even though we're following this basically to a T, we were trying to MacGyver it and force everything together with what we had. We decided to adjust and utilize flip container and whatnot because it seemed like it was needed and just made things easier. What we didn't change was the front of ball and back of ball div versus image issue. So I'm not sure if it's not going to quite function the same because the div is handled differently than an image. We're about to find out, so brace yourselves. There's a potential crash and burn in our future, or my favorite, where we make a huge change and many alterations and then nothing happens. Not nothing happens in a good way, nothing happens in a bad way, and then we have no clue what to do at that point. At least when you see something blow up, you can tell there's an issue. But if there's no symptoms or sign of anything, it's kind of hard to tell that there's a problem. We were wanting to add, right, front of ball here. So that was all the display, aligning of stuff. Z index, and I believe we don't need to for Firefox 31. We're rocking Chrome. Maybe we should we add that for our Firefox using friends? We should. We want to be all inclusive, not just Chrome users, but everyone. Damn. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Here we go. Z index 2 followed by transform rotate Y 0 degrees. Okay, there's that, and then we do back of ball, back initially hidden pane, transform. Here we go. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Transform. Whoa. Rotate Y 180 degrees. Dum 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 dum. All right, little kitty, your back area is just cresting over the bottom of the screen, making it, oh my god, very difficult to read. No, we're not having you move the webcam. I know you want a nap here, but we're gonna move you. We're gonna move you. Team effort. 1, 2, 3. Now you're a cat. Okay. What else did we need to do? Save. We are saving here. 1 and 2 and 3. Save JavaScript because we can. Here we go. Refreshing. Go. Eesh. That's okay. We need to do the following. Line center, left and right. It's flip container. I think it needs to be shimmied. Or it's the 1000 pixels. But crap, nothing's happening. Damn. When in Rome. Okay, so quick fix. We add divs around the image files. We leave the IDs the same. It can still do display none or block for the divs with stuff. I'm not going to say this was a total failure, but there was the Challenger fiasco for NASA. This is like 40 notches below that, but still it's painful for our little stream. I mean, no one's lost their life yet, but this is pretty infuriating. Death. Okay, so what if we change the pixel issue? What if it's not 1,000? What if we do 400? That seems far more reasonable. Because the images are only 345. Yeah, fascinating, right? Save. Refresh. Okay, did nothing. Cool, whatever. Not to worry. Hey, tribute? Definitely. Right. Tribute. It's gonna be tribute. Tribute 32 ounces. Sup to you, good sir, or robot, or madam, or robot. I'm gonna put my money on sir/robot. Sup, have 300 plus days paid off. Yes. Probably not by others' standards, what they would be looking for on a 300 plus day year long journey. But this was more of an exploratory journey. We didn't have a set goal when we kicked off this misadventure at the beginning of the year. So it just, everything kind of naturally developed and progressed from there. Short version is we started at, where the deuce is it? Code Academy. And we ended up at Code Wars, and then we followed up with Free Code Camp. Ta-da! And then from there, let's see, was it? Yeah, us. So the first like 159, 160 days, we completed all of the free content, all the courses. There were like 14, 15 different courses or languages that we went through at Code Academy. So that took up a good chunk of time. They recently updated a lot of their stuff over the summer, a month or two ago. So we will be returning to check out some of the new updated stuff. But anyways, so that was the initial portion of our journey. Then from there, we moved on to then we moved on to Code Wars, which was mostly challenges, not so much lessons, but it was still a good test of our knowledge. We focused primarily on JavaScript at Code Wars. And then from there, after we started chipping away at Code Wars, we ended up at Free Code Camp, and we made a pretty good dent. We've made it, I think, like 85-ish% of the way through the front-end development certificate. We still need to finish that out, hopefully sooner than later. But that brings us to like day 260-ish. Today's 300 something, minus 30 days for October. So day 270 around there. In the beginning of October, one of our consistent viewers, who's been here since the beginning, Mr. Topher Gates, he set up all of these awesome side projects. for me to do to kind of help wean me off of the tutorial sites. That way I could focus on trying to get a better, more realistic feel and understanding of utilizing different languages in a file to build out these sort of smaller applications and whatnot. So it's been awesome. We've made it through basically 4 of them. We've been trying to power through them. A lot of our streams can be fairly short. Your regular Twitch stream, I'm sure, as far as gaming goes, would be quite a few hours. 4, 6, 8, maybe 10 or more, and a lot of our coding streams are just trying to code at least a little bit every day, so they're anywhere from 45 minutes to like an hour and a half, sometimes more. Last night we had a longer stream, like 2.5-ish hours, but it's been awesome. We gathered, even though it's been an odd path and kind of a repetitive path, at Code Academy, there's a couple different courses where you end up, they go over HTML, the basics for HTML, the basics for JavaScript and CSS. Well, during the Make a Website course, they end up going through sort of the basics of HTML again and CSS and JavaScript. So we've seen a lot of the fundamentals multiple times, but I haven't mind that fact that there's been that repetitiveness, because it just keeps hammering away at the foundation or the fundamental concepts. So it's been good. It's been a long haul. We've only got 60-ish more days to go. 2 months, November and December. But yeah, I think it's been awesome. It has been good. That was probably a way longer answer than you were looking for, but that's what's happened. Let's close out of that. Let's try and pinpoint where exactly we can fix this. I think adding the divs to the following things would be of great use to us. So, yeah, front content, back content. Let's definitely do that. All right. Tribute through to, okay, and how's the channel related to Day 9 and Felicia Day? Just interesting. Well, there's no direct correlation, but I find them to be quite fascinating. Definitely big factors as far as motivation to go out and sort of explore and do this own journey of mine. I stumbled across, it was a weird, like, connecting of the dots. So there's the show Tabletop on Geek and Sundry, hosted by Will Wheaton, and he'd seen that for a little while a couple years ago, and I didn't realize at the time that it was a part of the Geek and Sundry network. I just thought it was like a couple one-off videos that Will Wheaton was doing, or part of like a small series, but it was part of what's it called? Part of Geek and Sundry, and I didn't know what Geek and Sundry was at the time, or who Felicia Day was, and then some of the guests, after I'd seen a couple Tabletop episodes, I noticed that Felicia Day was on there, and then I saw her a couple times on there. I was like, you know, they keep talking about stuff, and then they reference the Guild, and I had seen the Guild in the early days of when Microsoft finally picked them up for like Xbox Live and all that stuff. You'd see the ads years ago on the 360. New episode, you know, like season, what, I think it was season 3 when they got picked up by them. So anyways, I never really watched it, but I joined the Guild fan base later far later, after it had already ended by a couple years. So after that happened, that was just interesting. So that was awesome. But then to see that she was at the helm of this giant Geek and Sundry, I say giant, at least what, 1 million plus subscribers on YouTube. So it was just a fascinating community. And then from there, I stumbled across Day 9, who is a freaking rock star, super awesome. And then that kind of stumbled into the other things that he was doing. He was hosting shows like Spell Slingers on Geek and Sundry, and I didn't realize he had his whole own thing. It was very much like the Felicia Day reference on Geek and Sundry, where it was like, oh, this person's showing up. Well, it's because they're tied to this huge thing. Same thing, they had him hosting Spell Slingers, was like, oh, I'd never learned or had anyone to play Magic the Gathering with. That was something I always wanted to learn how to do. So I would watch Spell Slingers and just like try and piece together what was happening, and he was an interesting host. But I didn't know there was the whole Day 9, like day-night army and community surrounding StarCraft and stuff. It's like, this is an interesting cat. He's, kind of entertaining. So then I stumbled across, he's got an additional, like, fan channel. It wasn't curated by him. Narwhals Ate My Sister on YouTube. So a fan was, like, clipping together videos of his interesting story tangents and stuff like that, and all of them are spectacular. Just different videos. I don't even know if it's advice in general, but thoughts on life, I think, would be the best way to describe it. And good old-fashioned stories, ridiculous, like the time he almost died, and things like that. But anyways, so yeah, it was a long, all of those are just kind of notches, marks, figureheads that had led to me being motivated to go out and try and forge my own way on the internets. So that again is probably another overly long answer to a question you were asking, but yes, it's no direct correlation to them, but because of them and those things, I felt inclined to pursue my own endeavors. Yeah, that. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. This has probably been the last like year and a half has probably been like the best year and a half of my life. So totally worth it. Absolutely. Not just the learning how to code, but like so I went to TwitchCon last year and this year and just do what I'd never done convention aside from like auto show conventions, but that doesn't really count. That's just a glorified car show. But I was too late to get tickets to BlizzCon this year. Still haven't done Comic-Con, but TwitchCon. So starting small, we're getting there, but I've done that twice now. So branching out. They've inspired me to break through the mold and go out and strive and to achieve things. Hey, tiny cat, what are you doing down there? Your long answers are equivalent to typical article size long text. Probably, yes. I am also that person. I send novel long texts to people. It's just because you can't anticipate the answers. Why when you would go to hang out with a friend, they're gonna be like, well, where do you want to meet up? When do you want to go get food? What do we do after? It's like, you can see all the questions, so I just answer the next 8 ahead of time, and I just send a short little story. Hey, little cat. Little kitty. Psst. Yeah, you're a cat. Love you, little kitty. So yeah, that's That's me. No, 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 no. Give me your tail. Hey, who's got your ear? I've got your ear. But yeah, good times. It's been an odd adventure, but it's been one that I've enjoyed. Dum 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 dum. Now, we were trying to fix the stuff. We added in, everything was lined up. Gut reaction, just a fix. Let's do margin left, margin right, auto, copy, and we're pasting. Maybe would that work? Save, save, save. Refresh. Oh my god, it does work. Hey, Aqua, how you doing? Good day to you. Tribute, sup. Quickly checking in before bedtime. Way cool, way cool. Today marks the end of 10 months of the year of streaming and learning to code. Slightly impressive. 304 days down. Only 61 more days to go. Yeah. 2 months, November and December. Dum dum dinner dum dum dinner dum. Dum dum dinner dum. Aqua, oh damn, nice job. Thank you. Donka. It's been a long time coming. But we are making it work. Okay, so God, I don't even know. See, this is what I was talking about before. Like, it still functions. This is the exact scenario I was talking about. When something's wrong and there isn't an explosion surrounding it. And it's not that everything's powered down. All the lights are still on. It's like, imagine living in a world where, you know how when there's a power outage, usually if there's a physical clock, especially a digital one, when the power comes back on, the time's flashing, and you know that there was an issue. Right now, we're currently faced with an issue or a scenario in a universe where when there's a power outage, digital clocks don't flash when the power comes back on. There's no way to clearly tell that there is something broken or odd. Aside from the fact that there's no flipping or hovering when we go over stuff, but let's throw in a question. Stuff. Oh god, I was wrong. When you look back behind the covers, it's... What is actually happening right now? This is tragic. I don't know which direction is up. Aqua, how's your website doing? Or is that on hold for side project? That's still on hold in general. We're chipping away at all the projects, the side projects that Topher was kind enough to curate for us, to build our skills and hone them. So when we're ready to start building out our own website and or larger applications of sorts, we'll be slightly warmed up to the ideas and protocols, things that we should keep in mind, best practices, whatnot, for when that time comes. Dum 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 deep 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 deep. Well, this is brutal. What to do? What to do? Let's take the following. Something changed. What changed? We need to change this. This is what changed. Cut and div class. We can... Wonder if we should get rid of class or keep ID. I'm gonna keep ID. Put that in front. Set up another div. Yes, this. Cut. Get rid of that noise. I think this will help. We're removing this and pasting. Alright, alright. We're feeling slightly confident. Probably not a good sign, but fingers crossed. Okay, so we have now divs. This was one of the concerns I was talking about before. If structurally, because divs are different elements than either images or paragraphs and whatnot, they behave differently. At least we've seen that with other elements regarding CSS and how they behave. So maybe this will help resolve some of our problem. Here we go, refresh. Holy hell. Why is it larger now? What is actually happening? Crap. I know what it is. At least I think I do. No, we kept the div ID front of ball and back of ball. See? Height and width. 345. This is going to end in tears. A dark, dark day. Don't mind me. We can troubleshoot the following. CSS. Hard flip animation. With that CSS, you're setting the size of the div, but I believe it has no no direct effect on the child in this case, the images. Well, damn. Okay. Well, if that's the case, let's add the IDs back. Cut. You know what? Not cut. We will copy. I know this isn't going to be pretty, but in the interest of time and patching things, we'll have ID front of ball, and we'll also have class front of ball, since we can differentiate between the two in CSS with hashes and periods. Technically, I think everything should be just fine. Now, continuing on, we did that for the first bit. Now we want to do that for the second. D, copy. Again, not ideal, super terrible, but that's as... I'm trying to just stop the bleeding here. If we weren't however many days and hours into this, trying to end the stream, I would say we would give it another go. But in the interest of a shorter stream, and starting from scratch, that is what we're faced with. Okay, so here, let's change front 1, 2, 3. Front of ball, back of ball, front of ball, back of ball. This is like the boring version of Where's Waldo. Let's drop in periods at all of these. Wait. Left. No. Back. Period. Ah ha ha ha. I did it. I did it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So, save. 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 God, I hope this works out okay. Oh. Happy thoughts, Steven. Happy thoughts. Refresh. It's bad. This is so very wrong. Everything about this is tragic. Bob Danube, yes. Oh god, the pain and the terror. I know. It's bad. It's bad. It's tragic. We're gonna have to put this thing down. What if we have to start over? You think it's that bad? I wonder if it's to the point where it's unrepairable. I don't think we've quite hit that point yet, but we are definitely marching towards it at a much faster pace than I'd prefer. Let's check out his code pen. Maybe just trying to fix the size of the 8-ball image? No, see. There is the flip card transition, like so, over here. We hover, and we stop hovering. Hover and it flips. Change hover, unflips. That's what we're shooting for. That is what is here on our example code. Right? Pretty awesome. So we were trying to implement that, but then as we started to add in the necessary divs and classes before for the front and the back, I didn't have divs. I had only the individual image. I had the front of ball image and the back of ball image inside the single ball div. But looking at all the CSS stuff, which isn't too much per se, but enough to confuse a Steven, we started to add in all the other things because it just seemed like it was necessary. So we set up all of this, and as we pieced it together, I mean, I think the bottom half is basically to a T. As far as how it's set up. We didn't copy and paste the bottom portion. I think we did copy and paste this, the actual hover mechanism. That's because we were sad and disappointed. But aside from that, I don't think there was much more or anything else we did that was different. Anyways, since we had only the images, or the image elements, and it wasn't working with just the 2 image elements and the single ball div, I added in the primary container, the flip container, to house everything. I added in divs to house the images, and that led to issues, so it's snowballing into the 7th level of confusion. It's getting bad. So now I wanted to check this to see how much actual stuff was here. See, there's a lot more stuff that he's added in to his. Dum 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 dum. You know, I guess I could just test with the following. It's not ideal, but to eliminate my craziness, what if I were to copy his HTML? Because that is just the flip section that I need. A lot of that extra he added to the CodePen looks like vendor prefixes. I wouldn't be surprised. Copy. Also, I don't know what half of that means, but I'm also surprised that, or I'm not surprised that I don't know what half of that means. So, fair enough. But, watch this. As a quick alternative workaround, we will do this above flip container. Here we go. And we can doctor it from here, because we definitely will need to. But I want to see test stuff, comment. Okay, and test stuff. Okay, comment that. Watch this. So we've got the basic area here, right? And now we will... I don't actually know if I need to recopy. I mean, we have the core stuff over here, but I also mixed it in. See, like the Z2 index? I'm wondering if that's throwing things off too. Having display block and all that noise and blah, 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 blah. So I think we'll set up a test zone area as well. Come on, little higher. There we go, there we go. Copy. And, dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. I don't really want to comment all of that stuff out, but maybe I should. Back of ball, rotate Y. Comment. There's that. And let's drop this in. Test. Test. Not pretty, but that's gonna work. We drop this in. So we're just focused on the tiny section of things. Do you know what Z-index does? Not familiar. I think it has something to do with stacking, like how things... Kind of like pulling a number when you go to a store, waiting list, or restaurant, or whatever. Let's find out. Z index specifies the Z order of a positioned element and its descendants. I thought it had to do with like how elements are stacked. Which ones get rendered first, basically. As sort of a rough... But yeah. At least in a coding. From a coding standpoint. Why there's so much cat fur and death. Bob the new thing of 3D space. Oh, X, Y, and Z coordinates. Is that the same Z index as I guess that would be the... Because you'd have X, Y, and then front to back Z. Cool. Okay. So it is the same Z. Nice. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Now, with that said, all I want to do here was now move the following. Copy Bob Danube. Yeah, the Z index will put things higher or closer. So things you want in the back will be lower. Cool. Copy, copy, copy. Enter, paste, back, and copy, copy, copy. Paste. Good. So I guess from here to here we can comment that out. I'm not sure why that is. There we go. Okay, so let's save and test. Save, save, save. This is just to see. And that's what I was talking about, right here. So I must need to do more to make it work. Because I've removed all of my stuff from it. So, and all I did was copy the same, for his example. See, I knew there was a disconnect. It was probably, again, still due to me. But his example for HTML stuff, for the structure, we took exactly that. And then we took exactly this, his CSS stuff. Ideally, they should sync up quite nicely from the standpoint of how an example should function. So we've got his stuff in our test section with ours commented out. And we've got ours commented out and same, his exact stuff in the text section. All we did was add in our image ID. Maybe if I get rid of the IDs, so it's just the images, maybe that will be better. And save. Mixel 1 Z will not work without position relative or absolute. I thought we had... Did I miss that bit in my code down below? Where did I comment it out? Z... Oh. Oh, well... Fascinating. I mean, he's got it for those element, like, the front div with position absolute here. It's just, he broke it down for front specifically, Z. So it does have the absolute. And the container div for flipper also has position relative. Topher, you didn't save the CSS file. Oh god, rookie mistake. Also, hey, Topher, thank god. Save, save, save. Good catch, Topher. Bad Steven. Bad Steven. So, everything was fine, and I probably didn't need to get rid of the ID. Refresh. Yeah, of course, it works fine now. Let me add back in the IDs. Copy. ID. Front of ball. ID. Back of ball. Back of ball. Wait, no, Z. That's not for the image. Here we go. That's for the image. Back of ball. Okay. Saving that. Saving this. Refreshing. We hover. No, we try to hover. Yes. Okay, so now I need to make them the same size. Ta-da! So from there... So I wonder what was so different. I guess it must have been the additional CSS that I also already had in there, like the display block stuff and the align item center. all of that additional nonsense that I had as my quick fix beforehand, I can only imagine that was piling nonsense and bulk on top of to the situation. So now I just need to deal with the height in pixels for the images. Yeah, Aqua, have a good day, need some sleep. You do your thing, Aqua. Good to have you. As always, thank you for stopping by, hanging out with us. 10 months down. 10 months down. Like 61 more days to go. November and December. But you enjoy your sleep, and thank you again. Okay, so I guess I could add the image tag or element, and I guess that would probably solve. I don't think I need to do back or front of ball as an ID. I could also do image as our container. Now here, I think I'd like to do 345. I wonder if it's bad to have it pixel perfect, or if I should have it slightly wider. 345. Because that's what I had for the images before, right here. And we had added flip container to it. And this was when we still had only the image elements. We had given them the IDs, but that was it. Although maybe we can comment this out. Man, save with it both 345 and 345, maybe. No, still sad and confused. Fair enough. So let's uncomment. Save. There's that, and that works. That's awesome. It works. Beautiful. Beautiful. But now, what do I want to do? If I want to move that, I would like margin left and right. Copy. And we would like it to be for, I think, Flipper. Is it okay if we set it in Flipper? Save. Refresh. Damn. Doesn't work on Flipper. Topher, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you and everyone else. You didn't dress up. Feels bad, man. I should have. I should have dressed up as Little Kitty or something ridiculous. And then I could have dressed her up as me. We'll have to plan ahead for next year. Trying to survive the stream is scary enough for me. Let's see, what can we do? So we don't want it there. Maybe we can do... we add it directly in the image area? That doesn't seem right either. Damn. Where would I put those? I would do the following. Okay. If I needed to center a thing, I've got the divs. We have our containing flipper class. Our flip container. And we have flipper div, which is inside. And then we have the individual front div and back div, which house the images. To center them, I guess I want to center each element. Front and back. Worst case scenario, I need to center all divs with inside it. But I don't, that seems excessive. I feel like I should just be able to drop either a center or margin auto align left and right, and things should just happen. Topher, tech align center should do it, I think, in the container. Oh, is that, it's that simple? Text, align, center, save, and refresh. I think I broke the internet. Damn. What if I do margin auto left right? Save. That worked. But you know what? I think I should keep the text center align because of... Isn't there a statement, a printout? Or no, there's nothing. It's the answer div. That's what I'm concerned about. Is the answer div down here? So if I want that, copy, Command C, I would want that to be outside of Flipper, but inside Flip no. Where do I want that? I want it to be part of the back of ball. So inside here. This. Under/on the image. That's what I need. Man, save. Refresh. Meow, question mark. It goes away. Holy shit. It's 'cause of my code. Oh god, I've got so much that I need to adjust and fix. This is brutal. I thought my quick fix for CSS, just setting up the structure, was going to make things easy. But all it did was add problems for Steven in the end. Why did I do that to myself? It's all the display, none, and block, and lies. That's what's happening. I need to get rid of all of that. At least for now. Wait a second. See, I also thought it was going to be two separate things. As far as the flip transition goes, I thought it was only going to take effect when just for the hovering. See, like this, how there's the hover here in the example project, but then there's the separate flip that occurs when we ask a question here. I thought that I would just be setting up the flip transition for hovering only, and I was willing to live with the fact that when I asked a question on mine, that it wouldn't flip. It would just auto transition. It would do the display block none to block, and from block back to none as the answer shows up and then fades away. So knowing that there were two separate events or occurrences, one occurring in CSS, but now it seems like that's crazy talk. What to do, what to do. Command save. Refresh. Stuff. Okay. As tragedy ensues on day 304, we continue forging ahead. So instead of modifying the display, you just need to add or remove the hover class. Oh. So I can get rid of all of this nonsense. So wait. What's the easiest way of... Am I simply changing display hover? What would I do? It would be hover something, and to remove that, toggle hover to get rid of the following. I want to change, not display. I think I'd get rid of all of this stuff. I still feel like I'd do document either get element by ID or get element by class, so I know what I'm referencing. It'd probably be... Isn't by class a thing? Maybe not. But somehow reference, you know, flipper, or whatever the flippy unit is, or front or back. But regardless, address the stuff. So instead of modifying display, you need to add or remove the hover class. Class name is what I'm looking for. Get element by class. Oh. Class name, is it? Does that seem odd? And be on the container. Style hover. That what it would be? And not none, but something. Hold on. I don't even think I've got my class name set up correctly. Document dot get element by class name. That actually accurate? It really... Lowercase class name. Hold on, I'm just flailing in confusion. JavaScript get element by class. Get element by class name. Hot damn. That is literally it. Document get elements by class name. Aha. S. Elements by class name. Plural. Fascinating. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Select the container element, then change class name to hover. After n seconds, remove the hover class. The issue is that you have multiple classes and you only want to modify one class and leave the other alone. Will it still work with IDs? I feel like IDs would solve that problem, right? Also, even though I do have multiple classes, each class is only used once, right? Give class front, back. For the image itself, front of ball. Although there's multiple things inside flip container. That was the issue you were talking about. Okay, let's see. Let's try this. Get element by class name. So, hold on. How I want to change it to... Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm crazy. I'm getting the element and I'm changing the class name, not the style. Literally, class name. Or class, yes. JavaScript, change. All copy. JavaScript, change. Element. Class name. Change the class name of an element in JavaScript. Yes, yes, that. Stack Overflow. Dum 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 dum. Dee 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 dee. Ah, Topher, right. Container EL class list dot add hover and container EL dot class list dot remove hover. Ah. Get elements by class name will give you a node list, not a single element. Noted. Class list, add, remove. Okay. Yep. That is Steven. Alright, so I need the following. Container EL. Document. Let's get rid of that. Down here, we can do... We're just going to type it out down here because we can. Container EL dot class list. Does this mean I need to set up a click event for container now? Or not a click event, but an event listener for container, like how I set one up down here for flipball and clearing the error. List dot add hover followed by container EL dot class list. Nope, no event for the container. Huh, very cool. Tons of fun. Remove hover. Ta-da! Now we can take this, cut, and we are removing the nonsense we had here. Ta-da! Yes. Now, get element by ID answer. And confirm will be inline, blah blah blah. I don't think I need to modify anything else, although clear air, that was the text. And that can be none, that's fine. Aha, here, reset ball. So, we should do that. Front of ball. Now, how do I need to change stuff? Topher, you need to assign the flip container to a variable named container EL for that to work, though. Ah, right. So similar to this stuff, document get element by so forth. We want... Actually, I guess we can just continue down this path. Copy. Get element by class name. Container EL. Document get elements S by class name of flip container. Like so. You're essentially saying, do this thing to this particular element, but you need to tell JavaScript which element you are referring to. Which sounds reasonable enough. So here, in Flipball, we establish container EL, similar to the other click events, which we don't need to set up the click event because of the way the hover functions, but regardless, we've set that up. And now, as it runs through, if blah blah blah, everything happening here is fine. We no longer have the document get elements by ID for display and none. Oh, wait, crap. Hold on. Topher, again, get elements by class name returns a node list, not a single element. Node list is similar to an array, which means I need to further identify the following, either a dot or, probably more likely, first child node value, blankety blankety death. What if I were to change it to an ID? I'm more of an ID kind of guy. That means I need to change the CSS to IDs as well, and that seems like a nightmare. I think it would be easier to just set up this. Come to terms with the node list. So how does one reference that? Removes class name, element. No. Wait. Set class for a div element with ID. No, not us. Not us. We won't be setting it. We're going to be adding and removing the hover from a div with a class name. Close, but not exactly what we're looking for. Technical details 0. By tag name,
Okay, maybe that's... So by class name 0, that would be my div. I think that's probably closer to what we're looking for. So we aren't doing dot something. It is, in fact, like a regular array. Cool. Topher, how would you select the first element of an array? Right. Should have looked. Ta-da. 0. Just like so. Just like so. Command save. Now, that's all the flip ball stuff. I still referenced them in resetting document blah blah blah. Block and none. I wonder if I should move that, copy it over to here, or if it's not even necessary. Let's find out. Let's find out. Refresh. Things, question mark, submit. Ah, so we want it to auto flip when the click happens. That's that secondary thing we were talking about before. So we should give it a default value of answer should be what do we have it equal? Okay, another issue, adding the hover class and then immediately removing it. Oh, and I need to add the time delay to it. Where do I have the timed? Oh god, the set timeout fiasco? Who remembers that? Okay, so window.set timeout is happening in the else. I should have that happening after. But is that weird putting it after? Save. At question mark. Okay, so the time was there. I was slow to click on it. Cat again. Oh, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Cat question. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000. And the stuff. This is just brutal. Don't mind me. Hold on. Tiny crisis. Think amongst yourselves. Alright, crisis slightly averted. Damn, damn, damn. Okay. We've got like 10 minutes? Death. We're gonna have to bounce. We've got plans for this evening. After all, it's Halloween. However, we are heading out. Dinner first. Okay. We'll give ourselves 9 minutes. 9 minutes of glory. This is gonna be tragic. There's no way in hell I'm gonna land this bird in 9 minutes. Not a chance in hell. Okay. Okay, other issue. You're adding the hover class and immediately removing it. You're removing the hover state when you reset the ball. That is true. Oh. I'm removing the hover state here when I reset the ball. That makes so much more sense. Oh. Well, maybe that wasn't as tragic as I thought it was. Interesting. Because when set timer runs, it calls this, and then it delays it for 6 seconds, and then that happens. Well, that's not tragic or sad. Command save. Refresh. Meow question mark. Submit. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. But it seems to be, and it removed it. It removed it. Okay, okay. So the next thing is, see, watch this. So when there's no question mark, meow shows up. There's the button. We can always confirm to get the error to go away. That was one of my odd, but I'm going to count it as a clever workaround, so I don't have to worry about clearing that. But now, in this instance, how do I flip the ball back over? I feel like I've got all the pieces right in front of me. If that happens, maybe I didn't need to remove hover. Maybe I need to add. You need to select the container in the reset ball function. Wait. I need to select the container in the reset ball function because it has no idea. Oh, I need to tell it the same thing again. I need to bring this over, essentially. Like so. Remove. That's what's happening. Oh. Huh. Command save. Just like how we had to tell it what it is here to make it work, we need to tell it in a separate function what it is here to make this work. Because all the dots need to connect. Command save. Refresh. Okay, first of all, look at this. It hovers, which is great. And then, meow. The ultimate question you could ask an 8-ball. Submit. No need to worry. That's comforting. 1003-ish. 4. And it's back. Look at that. Look at that. Let's ask another question. Stuff? Question mark? Maybe give up now. I think we're gonna quit when we're ahead 2. Oh, that's great. Good job. Yay, pat on the head for Steven. How great is that? Cool. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm gonna count that as a win. Let's go ahead and close out of these extra ones. Barely surviving day 304 in the nick of time. Cool. It hovers, it even accepts errors. Statement. Yes, we're gonna be rebellious. Statement. Not a question. Submit. Feed me a question. Confirm. Question, you say? Question indeed. I wouldn't bet on me either. Look at that. Flip. Dum. With time to spare. True. You know what? We've got time to load it up to GitHub. Let's do that. Let's get our Git on. Dum dee 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 dee. There's that. Dum. There we go. Summary. CSS card flip. Boom. With an exclamation mark. We're celebrating. Yeah. Awesome. Copy and paste. Topher Gates, your 8-ball is so de-inspirational. I know, it's kind of brutal. Commit to master. And we are pushing. And we're hanging on, resolving deltas. Yeah, nice. Close out of this. Close out of that. Let's check here. Magic 8-ball and... Come on. Ta-da! 23 seconds ago it gets updated. Also, check this out. The Halloween theme for GitHub. Kinda cool, right? Fun. I thought it was fun. Anyways, good times. Let's go ahead and back out. We can close out of the stream. Successful day. Well, okay, lightly. We survived day 304. Successful is a strong word that I really wouldn't use in this particular scenario. But nevertheless, day 304, 10 months down, completed. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream and or assist, whether it was today or one of the many days over the last 10 months. Thank you very much. Today we had Iceman, Tribute 302, or no, not 302, Tribute 32 ounces, Aqua, Bob Danube, Mixel1, and of course, Topher Gates. Thank you all so much for the views, support, guidance. Clearly, it is deeply, deeply needed. Anyways, day 304 comes to an end. However, the adventure continues tomorrow with day 305 as we kick off November. And 2 more months, 61 more days of sheer confusion and some learning. Let's do this. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.